Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm honored today to speak in support of my legislation, the Protecting Against Child Exploitation Act, which aims to close a court-created loophole, as we've heard, that exists in our law, and as the title suggests, further protect our children from predators. When I first arrived at Congress after almost 20 years of litigating constitutional law cases, I was deeply concerned to learn that this loophole even existed in current federal law, essentially allowing a predator to admit to sexually abusing a child and yet still evade punishment. In the 2015 case of U.S. versus Palomino Coronado that we've just heard of, the Fourth Circuit reversed the conviction of a child sex offender simply because the court determined the perpetrator lacked specific intent to take the disgusting images of the rape that were found on his smartphone. This is despite the fact that the defendant admitted to sexually abusing the 7-year-old child and memorializing the conduct. In its opinion, the court decided that the lack of, quote, purpose or specific intent was enough to overturn the conviction, even though the defendant himself took the picture of the heinous act and subsequently admitted to sexually abusing the child. This is absolutely a clear contradiction of Congress's intention to protect children. In Scripture, Romans 13 refers to the governing authorities as God's servants, agents of wrath, to bring punishment on the wrongdoer. This committee is an important part of the governing authority of this great nation, and I, for one, believe we have a moral obligation, as any just government should, to defend the defenseless. My legislation presents a simple fix and updates Title 18 of the U.S. Code to ensure future defendants are not able to circumvent the law by simply claiming a lack of intent, especially after knowingly creating a visual depiction of a minor engaged in sexually explicit conduct. More specifically, my legislation amends Section 2251 of Title 18 to prohibit the production and transmission of a visual depiction of a real minor engaged in sexually explicit conduct. Furthermore, it also amends current law to include prohibiting the depiction of a minor assisting any person in engaging in a sexually explicit act. I encourage all my colleagues to support this critical fix so we can close this shameful loophole that now exists in the law. Those that prey on innocent children deserve nothing but the fullest force of our law, and I'm confident this legislation will ensure justice is served. I'm grateful to have the vocal support of our law enforcement community on this bill, including the National Fraternal Order of Police, the National District Attorneys Association, and the major county sheriffs of America. Again, I thank the committee for its consideration of this important legislation. With that, Mr. Chairman, I yield back, but note that I do have an amendment at the desk.